Hello everyone, welcome to the Sunny Mavi. We are here at Snapdragon Summit 2023 and we are here with Hugo Stewart, VP and GM XR at Qualcomm. He is the XR guru who is single-handedly building the XR ecosystem right from the ground up. Ground up means chips, and then from chips and going up all the level to the entire software stack and ecosystem and working with partners and developers and bringing out these new experiences to the world. So Hugo, happy to have you here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's great to be talking to you. I've started working with XR almost 10 years ago. And it's been a journey. So much has happened. So happy to discuss, where we are and where we're going.
Yeah. There's some significant announcements we saw at Snapdragon Summit. Obviously, the focus was on mobile compute, the new Snapdragon 8 Gen 3.
Yeah.
And then we had X Elite PC. But obviously, XR is also a big underlying theme. And though it's, as we discussed before, we are still in the farming mode and cultivating the entire ecosystem. Can you talk about the recent chipsets and recent devices which were powered?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, that's great. Actually, just last month, we jointly announced our chips with Meta. That's the reason, actually, we didn't announce him at the summit, right? So we paired up with Meta. As they announced the Quest 3, we announced the processor that goes with it, the XR2 Gen 2. Actually have one example here of the XR2 Gen 2. Actually, it's pretty impressive. If you are, an engineer and think that you can have the level of immersion, the level of processing on a Quest being driven by a little...
It's smaller than your nail.
Exactly. And, just like 3K by 3K displays, amazing graphics, so much AI. So that's kind of what we announced this new chip, last month, and we're super happy with what Meta built with it. It's a new level of performance when it comes to VR and now MR.
MR.
and just to clarify, when we say MR, we're talking about video pass-through.
Correct.
Right. So using the cameras to see the real world.
Yeah.
And then it's like AR inside VR. Yeah. So it's super cool. And we expect more and more apps to be using this functionality. So that was one, the XR2 Gen 2. Mm-hmm. We talked about the more than 2 times better graphics compared to the Gen 1. More than 8 times the AI.
Wow.
Because, we can separate conversation topic,
sure.
But a lot of AI needed for both VRMR and AR. So that's an area we really increased performance. And then the third thing is the video see-through. 12 millisecond latency. So really good performance. Those were the 3 main things with XR2 Gen 2. And then the other product announcement we had was the AR1 Gen 1, right? So AR1 is a chip built for smart glasses. Mm-hmm. Actually, the one I'm wearing right now. I don't know if you notice. It's actually I don't know if it makes me look smart, but but it's certainly a smart device, and enables you to take great pictures, great videos, great audio, and what Meta is talking about is releasing next year more AI functionalities with it. So the way we see these glasses are really an AI device, right? Because think about, for AI to provide its magic, you need the best inputs. You need the best sensors for those inputs. And what are those? In humans, we have eyes and ears. Yeah. So these glasses are giving the eyes and the ears to AI. And then you can start thinking about, super cool and valuable experiences with these glasses where I can just look into an object and ask, oh, what am I looking at? How many calories does this have? What's
Right.
where can I buy this? Where, it's very powerful to have a camera next to your eyes powering that AI. So that's what Meta said they're going to be emphasizing as features that will come.
Got it.
So that was, and we have a custom chip for that, the AR1. So we're super pleased with the feedback we got so far on both products, both the chips and the end devices.
Yeah.
But I think this is just still the beginning.
Right. And when you talked about AR1 Gen 1, technically it's a platform which will power augmented reality. So right now we are thinking more about basic smart glasses use cases, but can these be upgraded to AR capabilities as well?
Okay. Great question. And, we didn't plan this, but it just fits super nice with what I have in front of me here.
Okay.
Is I have a couple of glasses that one is from TCL, and one is a reference platform that we actually announced it, talked about it yesterday. So the Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses, it's camera,
Right.
and it's microphones, speakers. That's what gives the smartness. The next level of smartness is putting a display. So and you see that if I take this off, it almost looks like regular glasses.
Yeah.
I use reading glasses normally, and I don't feel the difference in weight, size. Now, okay, so now you want to make it to the next level. You want to put displays, right? So not only now I have the cameras, the audio, but I can also interact with the digital content through displays.
Correct.
So both these glasses, they have waveguides. So you start to see the waveguides becoming not only the waveguide, the glass, but also the optical engine, the display, in very small form factors, right? It's a little bit bigger than this, but not so much, right? Compare product like HoloLens, right? Which was, it's a great product for its application, enterprise, but it's bigger. Now we're saying, hey, I can put that kind of display. This is a little bit smaller field of view than a HoloLens, but even with the 30-degree field of view, there's so many applications that can be useful.
Correct.
Navigation, notification, translation. One of my favorites is I go to China a lot. I go to foreign countries, and it's just bad when you are in a meeting. They start speaking their language, of course, and you are left out. You need to wait for someone to translate. What if I could have subtitles?
Right.
Right. Yeah. That in real time, it's you don't need a very big field of view, very high resolution.
Correct.
So I think there's a lot of things that these type of glasses with an AR1 can support. Now, you remember last year we announced AR2, and there's a difference. The AR1, yes, it can support displays, monocular, binocular, so single display, dual display, but it's not going to enable the immersive AR that we talked about with AR2, right? So there's a boundary, between what we are calling a smart glass and an AR glass.
Okay.
So yes, you can put some AR here, but for the more immersive AR, you go to AR2. And then AR2, this is our reference platform. I'm not sure if you saw our demo yesterday.
This is the one with Gore-Tex?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, exactly. The one with Gore-Tex. And it uses a different kind of optics, right? This is what we call freeform optics. And it gives you a much bigger field of view, right? It's more immersive. So I think that for the next couple of years, I think we're still going to see these, two types of glasses. One that is kind of simpler, but still providing a lot of value, and one that is a more immersive, maybe a little bit, and not as small, sleek as this one, but still, pretty comfortable, and much smaller than again something like a HoloLens,
Right.
which I think will still have its fit. But if you want something more portable, lighter, these are the two ones, right? Smart glasses with AR1,
Right.
AR glasses with AR2. And I know you remember that the AR2 actually works in distributed processing fashion, right?
Wow.
Not all
Is
the
it
process.
the boundless XR? Or
It's similar to that boundless XR concept. We use boundless XR more in the context of cloud and
offloading.
PC gaming.
Yeah.
But it is the same idea that
Right.
I do some processing in the glass,
Mm-hmm.
and then majority of the rendering, the application is done on the phone,
Right.
right? Or it could be a PC as well.
Correct.
The demo we showed yesterday was a fitness demo,
Mm-hmm.
where the glasses, are paired with the phone.
Mm.
It's a virtual coach or trainer.
Mm-hmm.
You see the avatar,
Yes.
right? And then the coach is telling you, hey, do a squat, do this, do that, kind of tells you how to do it. But in addition, I thought it was an interesting concept the team did with a company called Lightsport. They do immersive sport, the immersive fitness application. You put the phone camera facing you,
Mm-hmm.
and the phone is doing the full body tracking.
Really?
So through AI,
Mm.
you're saying, oh, this person is not going low enough.
Right.
The arms are, one is going higher than the other, and then the virtual coach can correct you.
Correct it.
And
Right.
you can do the counting, repetition counting, and so forth. All that through AI on the phone.
Right.
So I think that's very interesting. Where we're going with these AR2 type glasses, where you have this distributed processing, and
Right.
and I think this demo was a pretty good realization of this split compute.
Correct. And that Exponential was also on stage, right?
Yeah,
Talking about the same and
that's right. Exponential, they have a partnership with the Lightsport as the app, but Exponential, that's where you start seeing businesses and applications from the
Right.
real world go to the virtual world, right? So you start seeing, okay, they Exponential, super big company. They have all these boutique gyms and
right.
fitness centers, and they are creating a version in the virtual world, right? So you can exercise both at a physical gym and at home, right? And I think that's we're going to see more and more of of course, brick and mortar to internet business to mobile to now having a spatial version of that business.
And it's fascinating to see, first of all, how scalable the platform is, right? It can go from a basic smart glasses to a very high-end, greater FOV
Yeah.
and processing glasses, right? But at the same time, also with respect to, I would say, different tierings in terms of pricing,
Yeah.
as well as performance, right?
Yeah.
And you talked about on-device AI within the phone, but we heard like on-device AI yesterday across all the devices. So do you see can this platform have capability to do on-device AI itself on the glasses? And what
Yes.
form factor it would be?
Yes. But to me, or what we see is hybrid AI as the solution.
Okay.
Right? And it should be hierarchical. So for certain workloads, certain algorithms, and certain networks, you can run locally in the glass.
Right.
But you have something bigger. Oh, cannot run it here, run it in the phone.
Right.
Cannot run it in the phone, go to the cloud.
What do you think about voice LLM?
Yeah, so those are the ones that
go in the glass?
they can be done in the glass, depending, of course, on the size.
Yeah.
Right? But they can be done on the glass. So things like translation, I think that's something that can run locally.
Right.
So again, the scenario where you are in a foreign country, maybe you want to minimize wireless data, right?
Right.
So you want to do on device. So yeah, I think it's but again, it's not 0 or 1,
Correct.
right? I do think the hybrid, which is very similar to our story on distributed compute,
Correct.
right? It's not only the GPU, it's also AI is
Right.
going to be distributed.
That's fantastic. So you have done all this plumbing. You have all this great platform, empowering OEMs, ODMs to build these reference designs and final designs.
Yeah.
But the next step is to how do you empower the developers to develop those apps? You gave an example of fitness,
Yeah.
but how do you make them aligned, optimized for the different chipset platforms as well as for the software on the top? And we have seen, unlike in smartphones, where we have Android and iOS, they have two platforms to develop. But in XR, it's not the same thing. So I think you guys are solving that problem with something spaces.
Yeah. Of course, we work very closely with Meta as an example, and they have a huge developer community. They're doing an amazing job of building content and applications. But in our strategy, to scale with XR, we talk about the four pillars of our strategy. One is building the processor, the chip.
Sure.
The second is the technology, head tracking, hand tracking, 3D understanding, understanding where's the table, where's the floor, and objects, and so forth. So building that technology is the second. The third being the reference design, and the fourth, ecosystem, right? How do you enable the developer to have access to the technology? That's how we do spaces, and I think that it's very telling why we call the name of our developer platform Spaces, because it's about spatial computing, right? I think when you look into computing in a 2D screen, PC, tablet, phone, even TV, right? The difference to when you compute in a VR or AR is that in VR AR you're computing in space. It's not only 3D.
Correct.
It's 3D, but it's anchored, it's blended to the environment, and that's the big difference. And that's why these algorithms that we are exposed to Snapdragon Spaces are so important. And we have an SDK. We have more than 5,000 developers registered, and downloading, creating, and for things that no one has yet really commercialized. We enable features ahead. One of this is the split compute and enabling AR glasses paired with phone. So spaces enable us to drive some of these technologies, to get feedback from developers on how to optimize our features, and really create a content pool for our OEMs that want to go quick to market with the reference design, also have applications ready.
Got it. And in the presentation yesterday, you and your team had a nice term which caught my eye, was spatial AI. So how should developer think about spatial AI? You alluded to it a little bit and before, but as a whole, from development perspective.
I think it's just amazing the kind of experiences that we'll start to see as you think about MR, right, video pass-through, and AR. You can think about, we had a demo yesterday as well, where you could decorate. You have a physical object, but you would put a different color on it or a texture based on a prompt. Right? Oh, I want this object to be looking like an animal texture.
Right.
And then you would just kind of understand exactly the object shape,
Right.
and wrap it with a different color and texture. So now you could think about, hey, make this thing look like a cookie.
Okay.
I mean, the danger is someone might try to eat it, but you can just use AI, right, to make this look like a cookie.
Correct.
Right. So I think it's going to be really, really powerful for education,
Correct.
for play. I think there are so many scenarios that will come with blending AI with AI with XR.
Right.
I don't know if you remember 2019. I had a keynote at AWE, and back then we said XR plus AI plus 5G. That's kind of the golden combination, right? Three trends that are coming together, and it's true. You need the low latency, high bandwidth throughput. You
power.
need AI, and you need immersive.
Yeah.
Right. These three things.
Correct. Makes sense. Fantastic. Last question from my end. So moving forward into next year, what would you like? So you have been empowering a lot of these devices and ecosystem. So what are your top 2 favorite applications which one should try to get this full experience of MR or AR?
Yeah, I mean there are really a lot, but I think sports watching is one of my favorites.
Okay.
That I can think that once I can, make it a massive screen, just to watch the same content as in TV. But of course, there's way more. I can watch it in a kind of a 360 or 180 view to represent as if I was in live on a stadium.
Right.
Or there are very interesting types of experiences. We're working closely with Red Bull in some of them, Red Bull Media, where you have a video, but on a table, you can do a 3D rendering of the same sport. So what Red Bull did was kind of going down, a big mountain very fast, right? So you have the video, but you also can recreate the mountain in 3D, so you can look, how the athlete is going.
It's a digital twin basically.
It's a digital twin of exactly, and it's rendered. Imagine watching Formula One or racing, where today you watch TV. It's hard to really. Oh, I don't want to follow. That guy. I want to follow someone else. Yeah, exactly. Or it's very hard. How do you see the full view of the track?
Correct.
You could have the track rendered in 3D on a table.
Right.
You see all the cars, and I want to see this video image now from this car.
Correct.
I want to see the broadcast image. So I think sports is going to get revolutionized with XR. But I think that for me personally, if I think about my day, a lot of my day is consumed with meetings.
Microsoft.
So I think that if we can have effective immersive meetings, right, or in virtual meetings where it's people that are across the globe, but you feel like you are in the same place. So that's to me, what would make it even more meaningful than today.
I agree. So Meta announced right at SoftBank World that Meta for Business is coming.
Yeah.
Right, with Microsoft applications optimized. I'm very excited for that as well.
Yeah, I think both consumer and enterprise, just a massive opportunity, and I'm optimistic with the amount of innovation and progress that we're making.
Right.
It's a journey. As I said, I'm like almost 10 years on it, but if I compare 10 years ago to now, it's just night and day, right? In terms of what we have done, but there's still room, for us to get better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much, Hugo. This was a great conversation. Very insightful.
No,
thank you very much.
I appreciate the opportunity to share a little bit more, and yeah, thanks again for having me.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks.